Hello, everyone, and welcome to Movie Club. It is Shawn and Rocco here, and we are here talking about the greatest movie ever made.
No, come on.
Okay, maybe not the greatest, but a movie that shaped my childhood, and I think a lot of people would say the same thing. You know, does it hold up now? If you've never seen this movie, is it good? That's the question we're going to ask Rocco today because he has never seen The Sandlot.
Nope.
A movie.
You know, it was unavoidable to see a nugget here and there.
Oh, I'm
but
sure you've heard
never
"You're
the whole
Killing
thing.
Me" Smalls a lot.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've heard. And probably got sick of that. But the question is, what did you think of it now? You know, I watch it now and I think, okay, there's a couple things I would have done differently or whatever. But overall, I get this feeling of watching this movie that I have this weird thing of like, oh yeah, like the Dave effect, we'll call it.
The Dave effect.
Where it's like, I'm just going to love this movie. I get maybe it's not the best movie made, but it just does something for me.
Yeah. It's bonded to you at a formative time.
Yes. And I would say when I was a kid, it was like this movie and like Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
And I can watch Rookie of the Year now and go, this movie is not as good as I remember. I can say that.
Even though this was 20 years ago, when I worked at Blockbuster, I remember going, God, remember Rookie of the Year? I mean, even though I wasn't big on sports as a kid, baseball movies were their own genre.
Sure.
They were fun.
And I think that movie in particular of like a kid breaks his arm and now he's on the Cubs.
Yeah.
As a kid,
it was exciting to watch.
And I was like, that's crazy.
It was like a superhero story.
Yeah.
And I remember going, I remember that. And someone who worked at the same Blockbuster as me was like, have you watched it recently? That shit did not hold up. And we played it in the store during a shift once. And it was like, I'm ready to turn this off.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, Gary Busey being the love interest is wild. That's a wild decision. So, But I mean, it's okay. Like my kids watched it recently; they liked it.
Yeah,
it's still a fun kids movie, but it's not the best.
Yeah, but some things you leave behind. Some things don't age with you. You know what I mean? Loved Clarissa Explains It All as a kid. Watch it now; it's like, yeah, good. Still a good kid show, I think, but it ain't doing it for me now. Then you watch Pete and Pete, and it's like this is just as good now.
And that's what I think. Yes, and I was saying, I think maybe I was on. I don't know where I was talking to you about this, but like the show Phineas and Ferb. It's a kid show, but I do feel like that's the show. That's one of the few shows Disney has. Like, all right, if that's on, and you're an adult, you're not miserable. You're fine. It's good. And Pete and Pete is one of those too, where it's like it's a good kid show. This rules.
Now, are you watching Bluey?
Not watching Bluey, Rocco.
Well, okay, you need to get that part figured out.
I'm not gonna watch Bluey.
No, but you're an adult. You should get.
I heard it's good.
It's fucking great.
I'm not gonna watch it because I'm an adult and my kids are well past the age of Bluey. So
you're never too old for Bluey.
There will be no Bluey in my household unless they choose to watch it, which they won't because they're old. Yeah. They're too old. I now have 2 kids in college. That's Bluey ain't coming on.
They ain't doing Bluey.
They ain't doing fucking Bluey.
Anyway, so some things age, some better than others.
Right.
Let's say that.
So
you know what is sad?
What?
I loved both the Ninja Turtles movies growing up.
Yeah.
3, even as a kid, I was like, I think I'm done with this.
It's funny. I liked 3 too. I liked it.
I don't get me wrong. I got it on VHS and I watched it, but I remember going, my time with Ninja Turtles, I think, may be over. But 1 and 2, I must have watched a million times. And it makes me sad because I liked them equally as a kid. And then you watch them now, and that first one is still it's a good movie.
Yeah.
It's still a good movie. Shockingly. And then the second one is like, oh, I liked you just as much back then, but it is one to leave behind. It is great kids movie, but it is a kids movie. Yeah. It's hard. I love Secret of the Ooze. I want. I wish it was still that. It just didn't.
Yeah, you know what? I did watch that first one a trillion times, and I saw the second one probably 3 times. So I guess that says a lot.
I thought it was really fun as like a summer movie. It was really fun, but it didn't. I like that there were mutations in it. We're talking about Sandlot today.
Sorry, Sandlot, baseball.
But anyway,
yeah. Well, this movie to me. I saw this around the same time I was watching The Wonder Years, and there obviously is similarities of a guy who's older narrating his childhood.
100%.
And so but as a kid, I was like, do this forever. I love this. Like I was really liking that.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I'll we're going to spoil the movie, so I may give a little bit away about the end right now.
Yeah,
jumping ahead, but there's several tricks that always work on me, like jingling keys in front of a baby's face that always work.
Yeah,
and that is the guy narrating his childhood. I used to go here, and of course, this is when we ran into so and so.
Yeah.
Always love that. And an ending where that same narrator or whoever describes what happened to them later.
Oh yeah,
we all grew up. So and so never. They got really into the 60s, and no one ever saw him again. And da 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 da. Always, you will get me. You got my heart in your hand.
And this is the end we're going to, whatever. But them fading out of the Oh, as a kid, I was like, that's heavy.
10 out of 10
and
execution.
I will say too, that point, and we'll get to the beginning. I swear to God. But the guy got into the 60s, never saw him again. Yeah. It's like that haunted me as a kid. Like, what happened to him? Did he die?
Yeah.
Did he just like move away? Was he a hippie? Like, what happened to him? I don't know. Drove me. Oh, I want to know what happened to that guy.
Hey, you rarely have a moment of no closure in a kid's movie. It's just like,
but isn't that more like life though? Where it's like, I have no idea.
It was powerful.
There's so many people. There's so many people in your life that you see for the last time, and you have no idea it was the last time. You're just friends hanging out, and then one time it was the last time, and you didn't realize that was going to be the end. It wasn't some like, we're moving, goodbye. It was just like, okay, see you later, and then they just never call him again, and that's just kind of it.
Yep.
Weird. Anyways, so this movie now came out in, was it 92, 93? Oh, I had it.
Oh, I did too.
well, I'll tell you, the production budget was $7 million, which isn't
93.
Okay, it's not that. That's a pretty small budget. It's pretty, but honestly, what are they really doing in this movie? It's a smaller.
It's kids playing baseball.
Exactly. They said it was. They did okay. It made $34 million, which is made its money back. Like they did pretty well. Yeah. But they said that the real money was VHS. And DVD sales, and to this day, that shit's selling on what Blu-ray or whatever it's on now.
It's and it's on Disney Plus. Nowadays.
They're saying that with the TV licensing and everything else, it's estimated conservatively this movie, after its initial box office release, has made $120 million. Yeah. After that, so
I'm sure it's at least that.
I think so. I mean, again, like as you said, like you've seen the "You're Killing Me" Smalls. Like there's like shirts that say that and whatever. It's a whole thing, you know. That line was almost cut from the movie, though. Fun fact.
Really?
Yeah, they almost didn't use it.
Why?
I don't know. They just like that. They didn't think that it was going to be what it was.
Damn. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, let's get into the movie itself. We'll talk about the plot. Now, this was kind of based on a true story. A little bit, but. The director loosely based the story on his own childhood in the San Fernando Valley. And the Beast was a dog that was his neighbor's actual dog who scared him and his friends.
Oh, okay.
So that's where they got the idea for the Beast.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to get into the plot. We'll talk about that. And we'll see what Rocco thinks about this movie. Now, there's been some movies I've shown Rocco where I loved as a kid, and he does not like them. And so I am a little concerned about The Sandlot. I recognize not a perfect movie.
Yeah.
But we'll see where this falls here.
Okay.
Okay. So it starts with Scotty Smalls moving to the San Fernando Valley outside of Los Angeles after his widowed mother and recent stepfather, Bill, which is played by Dennis Leary, which like him a lot. I like Dennis Leary.
Yeah.
Personally. The mom is familiar to me. I don't know where else I've seen her from.
Oh, I'm blanking out. The mom is,
Is she...
no, it's fucking... it's Karen Allen. Duh.
Yeah.
She's fucking Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I can't think of the fucking character.
Marion,
yeah, of course. Duh. On the spot, I'm so bad at this stuff.
Me too. Sorry, I put you on the spot on that one.
Yeah, I was
anyways,
surprised to see her, actually. I didn't know she was in
You know,
this.
I would say all the adults in this movie are pretty.
Yeah, Marion
There's not
Marion
many
Ravenwood.
adults in this movie.
Yeah.
There's a couple,
Right.
but they're pretty heavy hitters. We got James Earl Jones at the end. You know, we got some big.
There's some good hitters in this.
There are. Okay, so did you know he was in this movie, by the way?
James Earl Jones?
Yeah.
One of the only parts I'd ever seen from the movie is them talking to him.
Really?
Like, just, briefly I saw on TV, so I knew he was going to show up at some point.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
Didn't know everything about it, but yeah.
Anyways, because I remember being a kid and my dad told me that was Darth Vader, and I was like, what?
Yeah, it was wicked. I found it, when I first got into Star Wars, it was like the guy who voiced Mufasa. That was crazy to me.
So, anyways, Small's mother encourages him to make friends and to join a group of boys who play baseball, although he cannot play baseball. But he really likes baseball and he would like to learn how to play baseball. So this is what I kind of about the movie is like the kids are not welcoming to him except for Benny, who is the one who is clearly the leader and the cool kid, but like is also very nice and like welcoming, and it's like brings him into the crew.
He's the real leader.
Yeah.
He's and it makes sense, again, spoiling the ending.
Yeah.
You see that he's the one that goes far.
Right.
That's some of the best writing in this movie. Not that, I'm any expert or any of us are whatever, but I'll say this. We've been doing this. I'm going to make it about us.
That's fine.
That's the only thing I know how to do.
Love that.
We've been doing this 20-something years. When we meet people in the industry, this person got big doing that. This person. And a lot of times they're either douchebags or, they didn't show up. Oh, they didn't do this. Oh, they didn't do that. But when you meet the superstars, like Miyamoto or Kojima or any of them, they always show up. They're always kind, polite. They're never acting all stressed out. They're never whatever. It's like, damn, you're just cool and you got it.
You got it,
and everyone likes working with you.
Right, and that is Benny is like. We'll get to the point where one of the most magical parts for me in this whole movie is the 4th of July night game.
Yes.
When they're playing the fireworks.
Yeah.
But the narrator says, he's like, we all stopped to shut the fireworks, but Benny never did.
Yeah.
He was always focused on the game.
Yep.
He just wanted to play the game.
Benny, he's got what it takes.
Yeah, he does.
Enough said.
Yeah. He does.
And they wrote that really well, where he's never a dickhead.
Not once.
He has his laughs.
Oh, sure. But like, he's not like, there's kids being mean to him.
Yeah, but he's locked in but he doesn't forget his friends and doesn't ever choose to be rude or anything.
Part where like, I know we're jumping all over the place, but I'm assuming you saw this movie.
Yeah.
But the part where the rich baseball kids show up and start talking shit.
Yeah.
And they're going back and forth and like, whatever, wear your mama's bra or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But he doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
He just sits back and lets it all happen.
Yeah.
But he's not
He ain't built
engaging
like that.
in that.
Yeah.
He's like, this is beneath me. I'm not handling
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you say your shit. I'm not doing that.
I love that you got all the walks of life though with this. Like, you got him being like, this guy, he's got it. He's born with it.
Yeah.
But then you get people like Ham Porter.
Oh, yeah.
Who is like, you know what? He's not cut out to do this, but he's a personality, and he's having fun with the guys,
and he's just gonna talk shit to the batters while he's the catcher,
and that's why he likes to do it.
Right.
And guess what? You find out what he did later. He became a pro wrestler, so he can just yell at people.
Yeah.
It's like they got all the personalities here.
I always loved. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, what makes it fun is this movie's about baseball, but it ain't about baseball.
No, it's not.
It's a bunch of personalities coming together to find a common bond through something, various degrees of what they care about, but they just want to be there.
Well, also I think is beautiful is like, I don't know how your neighborhood was, but there were kids in my neighborhood and we would all play together. But it was one of those things where it's like, we're friends because we live next to each other.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I'd be friends with this kid any other way. And you would meet up together and all play, and there was the weird kid and there was like the Christian kid, and like, but you're all playing together because like we're just kids in the neighborhood and we're just all hanging out.
Yeah.
And like, this is that where it's like they're all friends, but also they just all lived in the same block. So, they're going to be friends, and that's just what it is.
You kind of all just, it's kind of where you end up.
Right, exactly. So anyways, and then, being Smalls, being the new kid, they're all playing baseball. He thinks they're all cool. He can't play. He has a plastic mitt from his grandma that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Just to be accepted into that group by Benny. And then I thought it was so cool as a kid where it's like, I can't. He tries to throw the ball in. He can't throw, so he runs it into him and just gives it to him. And all the kids like, what? It's very funny to me. But then when Benny's like, just put your hand up and I'll take care of the rest. And then like fits him in. Like he gets fit in. Yeah. And then it's just like a fun, like, okay, now he's in and now it's just going to be their adventures on the Sandlot together or doing whatever together. Yeah. I don't know. A lot of fun. Anyways, let's get to the point. Not the point, but the next part where they basically establish, like, okay, so there are rules in the Sandlot, which are, we have to buy a ball. Once the ball goes over this certain fence, the game is over. We can't get the ball back because the guy is crazy, and then he has this dog monster called the Beast who eats our balls, and we can't go there or we'll die. Yeah. So there's no way around it, and then we have to save 10 cents again to get another ball. And so when the game abruptly ends and we establish like the rules, they go to the pool, which is a scene that again as a kid was phenomenal with Squints going crazy over Wendy Peppercorn. He's in love, which this is, maybe you don't care about this at all, but fucking Travis Kelce was on his podcast talking about how as a kid he was in love with Wendy Peppercorn.
Oh, okay.
I was in love with Wendy. Everyone was in love with Wendy fucking Peppercorn.
Okay.
But his brother was like, do you know that she looks like just like Taylor Swift? Like the lipstick, the hair, the glasses, like that is exactly who you're dating.
Barely contained fetish, barely disguised fetish.
We figured you out, Travis.
Got a peppercorn fetish,
but
fetters corn.
So he jumps off the high dive, knowing he can't swim and is going to drown, and that she'll have to save him.
Yeah,
and then give him mouth to mouth. Now I don't know how they found this kid, who casted this kid, but the face he makes after they think he's dead, and then she is putting her head to his chest, about to kiss him again, and it's the biggest shit-eating grin I've ever seen. But it's it's like the perfect.
They must have cast him off that.
I really have always thought that
it makes the scene.
It makes the scene.
It kind of is the scene,
and then just instantly turns it away, and then kisses her.
Yeah.
And then she kicks him out of the pool. And then that moment is very funny. The narrator saying like, we were banned from the pool that year, but we never forgot what, whatever.
Yeah.
He kissed her long and he kissed her good.
Yeah.
And then the little nod after that of like, he's looking at her through the fence, and then like she waves him and he waves back all excited. It's like this. I don't know. That stuck out to me as a kid as like, that is one of those like classic scenes in my world.
Yeah.
Anyways, so they're playing a game. The ball gets over the fence, and this is when Smalls' stepdad is out of town. He decides he goes into his trophy room to get another ball, and there's a ball signed by Babe Ruth, and he grabs that ball to play with. Now it's his turn at bat, and he hits the first home run of his whole life. Everyone is so excited for him, except for Smalls, who is not excited because he just took away the trophy ball. Not knowing who Babe Ruth was, I thought was a funny gag. They always call him the Great Bambino or the Sultan of Swat or whatever they call him.
Wait, that's the same guy?
Yeah.
Who? Yeah, Babe Ruth? Who is she?
Who is she?
No, that's not.
Baby Ruth? I don't know.
It was signed by someone named Baby Ruth. What? Yeah.
And then they all start running to the fence, and the rest of the movie becomes a mission. Like baseball is not out the window.
Yeah.
But it is just a mission trying to get this ball back, and it's a lot of, silly ways of like that don't all the way,
Well,
go ahead.
they set up this legend of there's a beast on the other side of this fence.
Yeah.
And this movie exaggerates every part of the human or the young imagination.
Yeah.
Where they act like it's like almost like there's a sleeping dragon on the other side of it, and they talk about it's a dog,
Right.
but they talk like it's like a 10-foot beast, and they even show like flashback, like in their head, it's like historical footage of and
how the beast came to be,
how the beast came to be, and whatnot. Yeah. So when it goes, they hype all that up. The whole movie, it's like you can never go. There have been a couple kids that went over there to get the ball, and they never came back.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't. They were eaten.
It's like it's classic little kid playground shit.
Yeah, just the game of telephone has made this bigger and bigger.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, they play it really fun where you get glimpses of this dog, but it's clearly a giant puppet.
Yeah.
So like you'll see something pass by, and it's like they do play it like a beast. You see it from a kid's perspective.
Yeah, and you also like see like only its paw
Yeah.
getting the ball, but it's like the biggest paw in the world,
Or its big heaving mouth. Like,
yeah, just dripping with drool. Or whatever.
Yeah. So it's very well done. Yeah, the Babe Ruth ball goes over there. Okay, I'm gonna pause here.
Yeah.
And go home. No,
Okay,
I'm gonna pause here and I'm gonna give you my thoughts. Actually, I'm I could save it for the end,
Yeah.
but there's a reason I want to say it here.
Okay.
Halfway through the movie,
Mm-hmm.
I thought to myself, "This is a perfect movie." Kevin told me, because we brought it up that we were doing this episode.
Yeah.
He told me, different seasons. Christmas, you put in Home Alone, Christmas Vacation.
Right.
Every season's got its own movies.
Yeah.
He said every summer, this is the movie.
This is a great.
This is the summer movie to me.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm halfway through the movie going, yeah. This lived up to what people told me.
Mm-hmm.
And halfway through,
Getting nervous. Yeah.
halfway through, I think I had a 5 in my back pocket for this.
I
was like,
wow.
the kids' summer movie.
Mm-hmm.
How do you do better than this?
Mm-hmm.
I got to mark it down, and this breaks my heart because my main criticism of this movie is where we're at right now.
Mm-hmm.
They are trying to get that ball too long.
Yeah.
Them coming up with all the devices to get it, I was like, all right.
I agree.
And I'm seeing this for the first time as an old man.
Yeah.
So, maybe as a kid, to me, it felt like every other 90s kids movie at that point. It's like, we got to make some stuff to get the ball.
Yes, you're right. There are like contraptions of it where it's like, yeah, okay, this is, okay, I got it. But there's a part, it always bothered me where Yaya goes like this.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Never liked that part. But like there are also parts where like Squints is like looking at his binoculars like, okay, a little more forward and you got it. And whatever. Like I always liked like there's parts of it that I do like.
Sure.
But I do agree that it's like, okay, like it's not this again. The narrator says the biggest pickle of our lives a lot of times.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, you can say that maybe twice, but you say it like 4 or 5 times.
Sure,
I don't need you to say it so many times. There's not like, but anyways, go ahead, keep going.
No, that's all. This felt like every other 90s kids movie to me. There's a real emotional truth to the rest of the movie and a resonance. Even though I wasn't alive in that time, just like the Wonder Years.
Yeah.
I wasn't alive in that time.
Right.
But you captured the feeling of being a kid in these certain situations, and there's a truth to it.
Yeah.
This movie's got that, and then when it hits the trying to retrieve the ball, it was like, okay.
Now,
this is the 7th thing they've invented. It just felt like Home Alone, or it felt like
and I think that's
trying to do that.
And I was going to say, when did Home Alone come out?
91.
So I think maybe
I'm sure they saw that.
That's what that was.
Yeah.
And they wanted, because the second half of this movie does change, like Home Alone does change into trying to get that ball back.
Yep.
It is like a little wacky. I will also say that I feel like the chase when they finally get over the fence, and then Benny goes to get the ball, that chase goes on a while.
Yeah.
A while.
So,
but again, like I'm not mad about the idea of them trying to get the ball back in the fun way, and I'm not mad about the chase or Benny getting the ball.
Right.
It is just a matter of like, yeah, if you cut 5 minutes out of that, probably 5 minutes, it'd be like, all right, we're good. You know?
Yeah. I felt like I wish this movie had this. They had to retrieve it and shortened it and had that be the last thing. And maybe fit in another thing like with him and his dad. You know what I mean? Like another emotional nugget rather than half an hour of trying to get the ball with a erector set robot they made. You know, that part I just couldn't, that didn't resonate to me.
Yeah, I get that.
That's
my main criticism. If I would have, before I told you to watch this movie, I knew that you would probably say that. Like, I'm not surprised that that you would feel that way because I agree. Like, I see that.
Kevin was like, "No, I like it."
Oh, he does.
Yeah, he was like,
but you know what?
Nah, I like that part.
Isn't that funny that because Kevin would love erector sets.
Yeah,
and, like,
yeah.
Coming with contraptions.
Speaking his language, yeah,
that's his shit.
Yeah.
Again, I don't hate that part, but I do feel like there are stronger parts of the movie, and them at the amusement park.
Yeah.
And going on that ride, eating chewing tobacco like they see all the major leaguers do, and then barfing everywhere. Yeah. That's really funny to me.
Yeah, that's kids movie stuff, but it's quick and fun, and you move on.
And like the girl running off the ride covered in their puke is like fucking disgusting. But it's funny.
Yeah.
And again, the fireworks and the music that's playing while they're playing baseball in the night. Oh, that part is like amazing. So good. Okay, so anyways, Benny runs back to the Sandlot after he's being chased all over town by the dog with the ball. And then the fence for that house falls on the dog. And you see now the monster is gone and you see a hurt dog.
Yeah.
And Smalls is like, we have to help this dog. Like, we can't let this happen. They all help the dog, and the dog is fine now and is not mean and actually is licking Smalls' face. They decide to return the dog to the owner, which is that crazy man. The guy answers the door. It's James Earl Jones.
Yeah.
Always happy to see James Earl Jones.
Yeah.
And but he's blind. He is.
And he's grateful that they brought the dog home because the dog was running around. He's like, "Oh, I'm glad actually the dog is here." And he says one of my favorite lines in the entire movie, which is, he should have just knocked. The whole movie, they keep asking, can we just knock and ask for the ball? It's like, no, this guy, the keeper of this monster is a killer, and kids don't come back from this place.
Yeah.
And then, they meet him, and he's like, hey, you should have just knocked. I would have handed you the ball. Come, I told you!
And it's all them yelling at each other. Yeah.
That was great.
That was great.
That was
fantastic
payoff.
And that to me is like perfect writing, where it's like you built this up and then to wash it away in 2 seconds, but you're not mad about it. It's like, you idiot, I told you.
Yeah.
So then he comes in, you find out he was a player for the Negro Leagues and was friends with Babe Ruth and has a trophy thing. And so he finds out the ball was signed by he starts with, "You're in trouble, aren't you, kid?" And then he finds out the ball was signed by Babe Ruth. He's like, "Oh, I take it back. You're not in trouble. You're dead.
You're dead where you stand."
Yeah. And then says like, "Look, I'll trade you balls. I'll take the fucked up Babe Ruth ball. I'll give you this ball signed by the entire 1927 Yankees, which includes Babe Ruth, as a trade. The only thing I ask is that you come here once so we can talk baseball with me."
Yeah.
Which seems like a pretty cool trade.
Yeah. He's got all these stories. He clearly lives in this baseball bubble and seems like he doesn't have anyone to share it with.
Right.
And again, it's like you see both ends of the spectrum, these kids that are kind of all brought together by just their neighborhood, their whatever, finding a thing to bond over. And then here's an old man who's kind of lost everyone and he finds a thing to bond over, you know, and how it brings everyone together and whatever. It's kind of cool. I
think it is cool. And then it's so funny because I just showed this to Lennon for the first time watching it for this week. Well, maybe she saw it, but she didn't remember. But when Dennis Leary like looks at the ball and he's clearly like impressed, like, whoa, like this is crazy. And then the narrator's like, yeah, he only grounded me for a month. And then she's like, he got in trouble still? It's like, well, yeah, like you can't.
I thought he said a week.
Maybe it was a week.
Yeah.
You can't go and take his shit. Like, I mean, he definitely got him a cooler ball, but
Yeah.
he also shouldn't.
The
have
crime
done that.
was still committed.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, it was only a week. You know, it could have been way worse.
Yeah.
Then it cuts to the montage we were talking about of them basically saying like once it was the 9 of us, like when a kid moved away, we never replaced him. We just always played as if he was still there. And then it's like it tells you what each kid did in the order of them leaving. And they kind of just fade away. And it's, you know, so and so created mini malls. And then this guy, the Great Hambino, which I think is a great wrestling name.
Yes.
Since he always talked about the Great Bambino, that was fucking dope.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
And then it kind of
That
goes.
one kid got really into the 60s and no one ever saw him again.
Yeah.
That gets in there.
That to me is the most Wonder Years part of the whole thing. Where it's
100%.
like that is like, oh shit, like what happened to him?
Totally.
Then it happened like what happened to the twins, whatever. When Squints marries Wendy Peppercorn and they have 8 kids. So as a kid, I can't even tell you how much I love that as a kid. I was so happy for him.
Yeah.
And then it tells you it doesn't really tell you what happens with Benny or Smalls. And then it kind of cuts to present day, and you see that in the beginning, it was a guy walking into the broadcast booth for the Dodgers.
Yeah.
And then you realize that is Smalls.
Yeah.
And he is now a play-by-play guy.
Yes.
And then it cuts to Benny the Jet Rodriguez being introduced as a Dodger. He's made it. He's in the big leagues. And it's so corny and so dumb. But Benny the Jet steals home. It's an amazing thing. He looks up at the booth and gives him a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Which is so dumb. But goddamn do I love that.
Love it.
Love it.
So this was my next note is it's a shame to me that one part to me was kind of like not interesting.
Yeah.
Because they clenched it at the end.
To
me, the ending.
It is.
This is my shit.
It gives me like
this.
the chills, and then
I had it too, and I'm seeing this for the first time.
Well, I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah.
And then it pans over to his broadcasting desk, and there's like all these other baseball things, but then in the middle was a picture of all the kids on the Sandlot.
They got me. They got me with that.
Beautiful.
They got me with that.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. That. So for me, like. Yeah, the movie isn't perfect, but for a kid's movie, it's pretty close. Like, I don't know.
I think it lived up to what there's stuff that like people are always you got to watch this now. You got to watch this now. And it's like I'm watching it and I'm halfway through like, yeah, this meant a lot to you as a kid, didn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's too late.
Yeah.
This lived up to. This
I'm so happy to hear this.
Is undeniable. To me, it's like elegant in its simplicity, nails just about every part. Like I said, I wish the third act kind of, for me, had more of a, as a kid, I wouldn't have minded it probably, but as an adult, I'm like, okay.
No, as a
That's
kid,
the
it's
only
fun,
thing I
yeah.
could criticize. But I mean, it's like, this is the summer, your summer away from school as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
What movie has summed it up better than this to me?
I watched this probably, I would say 100 times during the summer throughout the course of my life.
Yeah.
I watch it at least 5 times a summer, I think.
Yeah.
We only had a few VHSs at home.
Yeah.
So we were always putting this back on.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the perfect summer kids movie.
Yep.
And it is about baseball, but it's also not about baseball. Baseball's in the backdrop, and it's about the kids. They meet on the Sandlot, and it's like the bond there. But baseball is not really the, it's the backbone, but it's not the whole thing.
Sure.
I think.
It's really not. It's almost symbolically there. It's like we're not playing for points. We just don't want the game to end.
Yeah.
And it's like symbolic of a bigger thing. You don't want the group to go away. We want summer to keep going forever.
And that's really, I think that's so beautiful when they was saying like, as you said, like we never kept score.
Yeah.
We always just picked up right where we left off. The game never ended. Like the game would always just be going.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't know, like that's just like a perfect summation of like what being a kid is like, and like just going out and playing with your friends. And
definitely.
I used to be in the backyard playing X-Men with my friends, and my neighbor would tape sticks to his hands and be Wolverine, and I'd be throwing cards and being Gambit. Like, it's just the dumb shit you do as a kid.
Yeah.
That like that time of innocence that like you don't realize what it is at the time, but looking back now, it's like, oh yeah, these are the years that like you can do this. Like, these are the wonder years, if you will.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Rocco, what do you think? And it's not a 5. Respect. That's fine. But what would you think? What would you give this movie?
If it hadn't been for that one act that I was like checking out on, I think it would have been a 5.
That's good.
I might, I'm not going to watch this as often as some of the more mature titles maybe that I would watch as an adult, whatever. But I'd be wrong, I might play this every summer now. I really liked it. I can't decide. It's between a 4 and a 4.5 for me.
Okay.
I really liked it a lot.
Yeah.
A solid 4. Solid 4.
Solid 4. That's, I'm happy. It's not a 0, and I'm feeling pretty good about that.
No, I was very glad I watched this.
Well, good. I'm really happy to hear that.
Yeah.
This to me is a 5. I mean, this is.
Yeah.
I agree with Rocco's points, but to me, the bigger picture is so beautiful that I don't care, and I just love this feeling that I get watching this movie. And I also feel like there is a part of me that watches this movie and it brings you back to being a kid, but it brings me back to being a kid watching this movie. And so that also is, I think, a little, probably a nudge. But I would say, like, of my life, the most important movies of my life, this would be on the list for me.
Yeah.
This is a movie that, like, I just adored as a kid. So I'm glad that you watched it. And hopefully you watched it too, maybe for the first time. Or if you have not seen this movie and you watched it for the first time with us, let us know in the comments what you think. I am curious. Or if you've already seen it 1,000 times, let us know what you think.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Yeah, let us know if we're overblowing this thing. But this played my fucking heartstrings.
Yes.
I was like, damn, dude, I'm cheap with this stuff,
No,
but you
dude,
got me.
I don't know. I think that it's just... I have never once watched this movie and not gotten the chills when it pans over to the shot of the kids.
Yeah, that got me now. Like I said, that got me now.
That is just something that is just like inherently, like, you spent the whole movie with them and now you see them grow up and now, but it still means something to him.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that is the Sandlot. Thank you. Thank you for watching. No, what do we know what we're doing next week or next time?
I think I would pick one, right?
Yeah, you're going to pick one.
I could go classic.
Okay.
Like, we do like something like this, or we could go more recent. Kind of feeling like maybe let's do that to change it up.
Sure.
Something that I think I got something in mind.
Okay.
That was recent this year that meant a lot to me.
Oh.
I thought was really a standout. I'm not even saying that means I'm 5 stars or anything, or 5 shaker or anything like that. But it stood out. It definitely stood out. And I think if you paid me, I couldn't. It was pulling teeth to get anyone to even look at this. So I may have to subject you to it because that's the only way I can get anyone to watch this.
All right.
No one else will.
I have no idea what this could be.
It came out this year and no one on earth saw it, but those that did, I think were kind of, impressed that it existed. The movie Better Man.
Oh, the monkey movie?
The monkey movie.
Oh, no. Yeah. I definitely know what it is, and I've avoided it.
It was like... Yeah. Oh, hey, anyone know about that? It was like, I don't know if I'll ever have anyone to talk to it about. Okay. So I might as well make you watch it.
That's fair.
It's been months and months. Yeah. And I can't speak to another soul that's ever seen it.
That's like when I saw the movie Perfume and no one else saw that movie.
Yeah,
like,
you made me watch it.
You guys, I needed to, this ending is fucking right. I need someone to watch this movie.
Yeah.
That was the first time I ever went to a movie theater by myself. And I regretted it. I'm like, I just want to talk to anyone about this movie and I can't do it. Anyways. So I get that. So I will watch Better Man, even though I will be honest with you. I absolutely do not want to watch this movie right now. Why? Because it is dumb. The idea that it's a Robbie Williams movie, but he's a monkey does not. But I'm going into this closed-minded, and I will have my mind opened when I watch this movie. I will watch it, and maybe my tune will change next week. I don't know. Hopefully it does. I'm hoping I hate it. I don't hate it.
I just it's out now or whatever, and I'll watch it again. Yeah. You know, so because I don't want to I want to go in, you know, with a I'll be open-minded to either way.
There are movies that like come out and like I don't go to the theater a lot, but like I'm always like I'm curious about that one. Like Poor Things, I was like I don't know what the fuck this is, but I'm curious. What is this? This movie I saw, it's like you can't no way am I paying to go see this movie. That will never happen.
Well, yeah, no one saw it, and then Paramount I guess paid tens of millions to own it.
Oh,
or something, or $100 million. I don't remember. No, it wasn't $100 million. But it was a lot to get it to own it in the U.S. And there was an interview where they were like, "So you got to be bummed you did that, considering it made about $12 in the box office." And they were like, "No, we knew that was going to happen. It's a cult classic. We own it now. That's how confident they were. Wow. They were like, this has everything about a cult classic on it, and we know we'll make money off this forever. Just wait." And it was like, damn, okay. So
all right. Well,
see if they're right. You watch it. I'm gonna watch it again too.
Okay.
See, and all right. Put it to the test.
All right. You all watch it too. And thanks again for subscribing to our Patreon and letting us do this. And we'll be back. We have Mega64 Day coming up very soon.
Yes.
So
June 4th.
June 4th. Check that out. It's a Wednesday. We'll be here all Wednesday. And the next day, the Switch 2 comes out. So it's going to be a fun week for all of us here. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to watching Better Man. And we'll see you later.
You got to watch the trilogy. There's Monkey Man.
Okay.
Dev Patel, I think is his name. Mm-hmm. Great action movie. Then you got to watch Better Man. A monkey is a pop star.
Right.
Then you got to watch The Monkey, which is a scary monkey.
Oh, yeah. He doesn't have a clapper, though. He has a drum because they can't get the clapper monkey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's the trilogy. So you got to watch the Monkey trilogy, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Monkey Man, Better Man, The Monkey.
And then,
Monkey Shines, I think, is a movie.
And then...
That's like expanded universe.
Okay. And then I'll watch Dunstan Checks In, which is not about a monkey, an orangutan, but, it's close.
That's not.
It's like a spinoff. Okay, it's not. Okay, sorry. Shit. All right, goodbye.
Planet of the Apes.
I'm not watching that again. Goodbye.